Lisa Acerbo is the Director of General Education and Liberal Arts at Post University. Her poetry and short stories have appeared in numerous reviews and journals, including one which was a finalist in the 2024 Best Books Award in the category of Fiction Anthology. Her most recent novel is Death and Coffee, which, if it hadn't been so rainy, I would have held up my copy of it. But it was published in 2025, and I think that Lisa brought her own copy, so you get to see today. Here to discuss how the themes of her novel are relevant to a group like ours, please welcome to Justice Southbury, Lisa Acerbo.
Thank you so much for having me today. I really appreciate it. I'm so excited and honored to be here. I've really been thinking a lot about what inspires people. Where does it come from? Why are people inspired to write, inspired to be here? And I've been wondering how people make change. And that all applies pretty much to my process of writing. I was looking for inspiration. I was looking for things to write about. And I found my inspiration actually in local history. I love local history because it grounds us in the past, but it also gives us a view of the present and an outlook for the future. I looked into the old Leathermen who walked for 30 years through Connecticut and New York State. I looked into the White Lady of Easton, a supposed ghost in the cemetery. I studied Hannah Cranna, who is a witch in Monroe, Connecticut. And that idea of what it means as a witch really kind of stuck with me. So when there was a call for submissions for the Salem witch trials and stories about that, I jumped in and I started researching the Salem witch trials. But then I realized there were Hartford witch trials, and that really got me thinking even more. And it inspired not only the first chapter of my book, but my character Prudence. So my book, Death and Coffee, is about a sapphic, witchy reaper who travels through history from the 1661 Hartford witch trials to the present day. And throughout that, she learns so much. And it's much like us. We're on this kind of journey to learn, to be inspired, and to do for others. So I just want to take a few minutes to read from chapter 1 and about the witch trial in Hartford, Connecticut. And Prudence's mother is being convicted. They think she's a witch, and this is her child. A frigid wind slashed the outside of the building, but the chill inside the dimly lit wooden church had little to do with the temperature. In the thick press of bodies, the smell of fear and anger assaulted my nose. Pray, pardon me. I wormed my way deeper. Not a single compassionate glance or good morrow came my way. The people who sat sermon with me and greeted me on the pathways a few days ago averted their gaze, tones hushed. My father, coward, refused to attend the trial. Earlier in the morning, I'd asked him to bear witness to this day, but he claimed to be ashamed of his family, meeting my gaze purposefully with his own. When most attendees had seated themselves, jammed together on the benches like barnacles, the minister glowered and declared, "It's time." He pointed, "Repent your wicked and reviling acts for your soul's salvation." My mother hunched in the gloom, halfway hidden behind a burly guard. The man's hand crushed her slight shoulder before she hit the ground like a rag doll, exhaustion and pain creeping over her face and frail body. The audience gasped. but for reasons other than the jailer's brutality. They believed her collapse proved the devil. And I thought I would stop there with this vision of this woman collapsed on the ground, frightened, and the idea of the witch, which kind of runs through this book. We often think of the archetype as the witch or the trope as something that is negative. Recently on Instagram, I saw this post by an influencer, and she had been growing her hair out, and her hair was gray and curly, and someone had called her a witch, and the comment was meant to be a bad thing, a negative. And she took it and turned it into a positive. She said that was the best compliment you could give her, because the witch was full of power, a woman who really had found herself. And I loved that, and I thought about it. And in this, my character, for much of her long life as a witch and a reaper, going throughout history, is lost or confused or trying to figure things out. But then, as she comes into her own, she realizes the power within, the power she has to inspire, to do good, to find love. And so this idea, those local history characters, people like Hannah Cranna, the White Lady, even the Old Leatherman, they really do show us the power of the individual. They show us of what we have inside to do good, to make changes, and to inspire, to be inspired, and to inspire others. And that's really what today did for me. So thank you so much for having me.